Alright, I'm getting to it now. Why do I always do that? Also, I didn't say last time, but reason why everything's so like stretched is because I have a widescreen monitor. I didn't say that before. So yeah. I don't, unless I did say that before and I didn't know. Anyways. I'm gonna be real. My game's really loud. I'm gonna thoughts. Okay. Here we go. So first things first. Thing you need to be worried about. They have Hog, they have Cass. Those two, you're gonna be a little bit, usually want to be a little bit scared by them, because a Hog can hook you, put you into their team, and Cass can shoot you in the air. So I remember you had a big jumping issue before, if I remember correctly. So just be careful of the Hog and Cass, watch their positioning. They're probably gonna walk out and just sit main, knowing how players like that are, so. And then on top of that, who is your focus on your team? Like, who do you want to mostly help? I would vote probably the Junker right now. Genji kind of is going to do his own thing a lot of the time. Like, as in, who are you going to damage boost? It kind of matters the circumstance, whoever's in front of you, but, yeah. It's taking the left here. I like this. Oops, that's a jump I'd be very, very, very careful of. I believe you're actively, yeah, you just stood on top of the Moira. I don't think, did they even not even look at you? Yeah. Cool. Alright, no, we're chasing the Genji. Okay. Alright. So good way I like to think about the map with how much space your team has. And support pretty much never want to push into the enemy space. And with how your team doesn't have very much space. Just keeping it honest, your team, if you just look over up like here, I wish I had a little drawing pen. I don't have any of that stuff. But I'll make my mouse bigger. Okay. Overly large mouse, but it'll get the point across. Their team has this high ground right down here. And they have the Cass on the bottom. So they have almost all of this right here. Now your team is wanting to look to push into this away, which is good. This is what I want them to do. Because their Hog has this side. So essentially what I want is your team to all push this way together. But one thing that is important is their team have everything past this line right here. The way I like to think of, yeah, positioning, I think I was kind of starting to talk about this, but I want to think about what space do the enemies own, what does my team not have? Now, in this case, you're going with your Genji, so it's not like you're doing this play alone, but in this situation, if their team just ignores the Genji, all runs back, you're kind of just a free kill. You're too far away to get any really real help from your team, and unless that Genji is just like an absolute god, you're kind of just in a really bad spot at this moment, because this wall right here, pretty much the enemies own everything past that wall, and you and your Genji are in there, but until your team pushes past this wall right here, pretty much their entire team just a point. So making a play where you dive after your Genji is not good, and even in general, what am I thinking of? I can't type live. Even in general as well, they also own this way. Because all of them have the high ground and there's one on low ground. So 2 on high ground, 1 on low ground. So they all own this direction. Until your Hog starts pushing in, which it looks like he wants to do, but he's going to have a very hard time pushing onto that Lucio Pharah, who are just sitting on high ground. Unless he gets a nice hook onto this Pharah here. Either way, you're kind of just lucky they didn't look at you. If I was them right now, like this Hog, I mean, he probably just watched you fly past him. Like, he 100% just see a Mercy fly that direction, he should, like, immediately going to look for you. He actually did for a second, but he just ignored you because your Ana walks forward and he misses hook. Okay, that's good for you. Either way, in that situation specifically, of you flying, maybe accidentally going the wrong way, standing on the Moira, instead of going for your Genji here, instead of going to help your Genji, Genji's a flanker, he'll be fine. He has deflect, he has dash, he'll figure something out. I think he just used both of them, but either way, right, instead, I'd just turn left and go to your team. This situation right here, it's good to fly to him. I don't mind you, like, actually flying to him, but right now, like, after you press the fly button, turn left, fly this direction. Go towards your team. You are putting yourself in such a risky scenario for pretty much no reason. See, now you decided to do it, and you took 0 damage that entire time, which is insane. There's a Lucio next to you. Okay, no one's looking at you. Never mind, do whatever you want. Literally no one on their team is looking at you. Just do whatever you want. What is happening? Oh, don't res that. Oh my. You live! How? Don't res that. Don't res in front of a hog like that. Don't do that. Do not. You are so lucky that that hog just sucked. Oh, might be dead. Oh, Ana got you? She did get you. Nice. Yep, keep your Ana up. I like this. I like this. It's nice. Whipping out the Glock. I like it. Teabagging. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. Now we go over. You help your Junkrat. Okay. Okay. Also, I kind of didn't say this before. Do I need to say why not to res that? It's way too risky. That you just resed in front of a Roadhog who could have had hook to cancel your res and, you know, also to kill you. The fact that he didn't kill you is insane for you. that shouldn't happen, like, ever. So don't go for reses in the middle of the enemy team. It actually, okay. You know what? No, I need to go back and explain this as well. This also ties really well into my my points of positions the enemies own. Once again, I'm gonna go for another top-down view. As we can see, they have this area. They pretty much own this way right here, because their hog is right there while yours is just sitting on point. Now, your team does push up. The choke point could be like up to specifically... Oh, I forgot what scroll does for something. So they probably own up to like this little corner right here. You guys have this area, because, you know, you and your Junkrat are right there. But right here, everywhere inside there, that's their room. Don't go in that room. You are a Mercy. You should never, ever go in there. Especially in the middle of their team. Do not do that. As you can see, what you do is you can disregard that. You see the Roadhog in front of you. You know he's there, and you just ignore him. You are so lucky this Roadhog doesn't just kill you. He has hook! Why didn't he use it? Oh my goodness, if he finds this Roadhog, I'd coach him too, because holy crap, why are we hooking after the res? And missing! I can't. Anyways, this is an insane game. Oh my god, I didn't even realize you messed up the fly outwards and you still didn't die. I don't understand. I don't understand. Either way, I like what you did afterwards, helping me Ana live the Pharah. I like the teabag, get in their head. That's how you should play Overwatch. It's a rage game. If you get the enemies to rage, they will play worse. I do like you're jumping onto high ground a lot more now. I'm a fan of that, I must admit. It's okay, we hook into the hog. Now we can go for some aggression between your team. Nice, Valkyrie, okay. Like that. Help out your Genji with that little side fight. I think right now, yeah, you want to help out the Genji with the side fight. Oh, never mind. Wait, we go for the kill. Got it, you got it, you got it. Alright, alright, alright. Maybe try... okay. Maybe hit the aim trainer just a little bit there. just as a tip. There's always Vaxta, VAXTA. That's a code you can put into a custom game codes, and that helps out a little bit. I don't know. Alright, now their hog's walking out. What we want to do is the pressure the hog. I think, yeah, you just go in there, damage boost the Junkrat. I think is what you want to go for a lot of the time. You don't really get much damage boosting other characters on your team, unless hog lands hook. That's a very specific thing. If hog lands hook on your team, it's good to damage boost him. Alright, so we got a Genji Blade. Okay, yep, go with the Genji to Blade. That's a normal thing you want to do. Keep him alive. Our hog just swings that. Holy. You're bringing out the gun a lot more than last time. That's what I've noticed. Everyone's starting to play Overwatch all of a sudden. Okay, this res. Now, this res is a little better in comparison to the last one, because at this point, your team actually owns this space. Now, see, this is why this is a lot better of a res. I got plans. Do I have plans? Yes, they do. Anyways, okay, so yeah, this space, this wall right here, your team owns. Even if their Lucia's walking on, it's the same thing. Like, even the rest of your team is past this wall. For the Pharah, okay. It has a lot more to do with where your tank is positioned. But either way, this is a wall. Their team can't really walk into this. So I do like this res isn't too bad. Plus, you can go behind the wall, right here or so. I think that is what you're attempting to do. Maybe I think what you should have done is gotten to it like a slightly safer. Go start from right here. Start with the safer position. I don't think the Lucio is going to turn around, I imagine. Either way, res is a lot better, but you still need to be careful because you still res right in front of that Lucio. With no one really to help you. Yeah, one thing with Mercy is you just want to stay alive pretty much at all times. You don't really want to take very many risks because Mercy doesn't need to take risks. Mercy's probably one of the best characters in the entire game. There's no way that didn't go into the well. That is actually so unlucky for your Ana. Okay, solid little res. Again, in an area your team holds, which is good. Their Bastion's taking high ground, so careful there. It's okay. So when their Bastion is up on a little pedal platform right there, don't jump in the sky. He can see you. And pretty much this whole time he's able to see you as you're flying around. And yeah, turn, you did end up dying. So in this situation right here, the moment you jump up, that Bastion's looking at you. You see the Bastion right there, just drop to the floor. What you can do, drop to the floor, sit inside this room. You don't need to be out there. You don't need to be out there in the fight. There's no reason. Your team is contesting. You don't need to contest. And it's 99 anyways. But you jumped up again, and that was kind of the cause of your death. Alright, you've like mastered vertical jumping. You know, you're jumping for high ground. You're jumping with purpose, you know, the big ones. But you need to work on your horizontal jumping and like positioning. Your vertical jumping, you're thinking too much about where you should land in your vertical jumps. You're not thinking about times you should just be on the ground. See, like right there, yeah, you take high ground, and I like that you're taking high ground now. That is a good thing. But you're not thinking about... See, that was a good horizontal jump. It puts you in a safe position, and now you're not scared at all. That was a good one. See, there's another good one. I know you have it in you, but there's just times where you don't, like, you don't need to jump to high ground here. Like, you don't need to be up here. There's no one on your team benefiting from you being up there. So instead, what you could do is if you want to be in a safe position, you want to help your Ana, you come into this room. Now in this turn, this way, you can help your Ana if you need, and you can fly out immediately to say help out your Junkrat. In this case, I probably wouldn't even leave. But you have kind of no reason to leave. Your ball is here, your Junkrat's here, and your Genji will just be perma-flank, so it doesn't matter. There's kind of not really a reason to leave your post, especially there's definitely no reason to jump to the side ground. There's definitely no reason. In this case, you guys probably will want to just run away. You're down 2. And I highly doubt you're going to be getting a res off on either of the souls, which will be just like around here. But instead, you kind of just take high ground. They now have double hit scan, so you got to be a lot more careful about taking that vertical area. Very surprised you didn't die. But a lot of the time, if you're not really supporting a team by being in high ground, or you're not really increasing your survivability by any amount, there's kind of not really a reason for you to be on high ground. Like, just sit behind a wall. You provide the same amount of value sitting behind a wall and never seeing the enemy. As boring as that sounds, that's just kind of how Mercy is. I know, the fun part of Mercy, that's what everyone likes, is being able to fly around and be like, this is a good one. Now you're on high ground. It is providing value for your team because you're staying alive staying up here. You specifically taking this position mean that they cannot peek you while you're able to look down and heal people on low ground. This is good high ground. But when you did it over this way, you weren't being able to heal anyone because there's no one really around you to heal, maybe except for the Ana. And in that case, you could just heal the Ana inside here, which is an even safer option. And the Bastion doesn't have an angle on you because the Bastion had an angle on you and you took a lot of damage because of it. So, but now when you're on this high ground, the Bastion's very focused on your Wrecking Ball. And you can be on the high ground for free in a space that your team pretty much controls at this point. If you look again, your team owns pretty much everything past this like line right here. This blue line. Because your entire team's over here, and their team's pretty much just all over this way. But yeah, this is good high ground. You do pull, and then in this case, your team kind of runs away. You and the high ground is not very useful anymore. Yep, you can go down here, help your Junkrat. Perfect. Oh, see, that's why you gotta be careful when taking high ground. Yeah, be very aware at all times where the enemy DPS is, especially this Bastion. This Bastion's been trying to kill you a lot. So make sure you get your good headphones on. You gotta listen further you go. Good kill on that? Pulling out the gun a lot this game. I know I did mention before you could probably pull out the gun more, but I wasn't expecting you to change it this much. It matters. It's still very situational ability. There's times where just sometimes damage boosting, just allowing your teammate to kill him is better, but yeah, safe for every circumstance. Your Ana just gets first picked. Wait, what is she doing over there? Okay. The res gonna come quick. Yeah, that... Your team is not there to help you. I wish they were. But even then, even though you got the res off, and your Genji's in there, he's gonna die. Oh, he bladed. Yeah, he... Just... Did they shatter the Ana? They just solo shatter the Ana. Okay. Genji's blading their backline. Is he? Oh my! Did he just hero blade win? Oh my god! Oh my god! This Genji's playing for free right now. That's crazy. And you do end up living, which is good. But even though you got the res off, A, that was kind of not a great res. Very, very risky. And B, your Ana immediately died because it was right next to the enemy's position. That's the same thing. You got to think about the positions the enemies hold. Your ball is AFK. That's unlucky. But you kind of just rezzed your Ana. Even though you survived, your Ana, there's no chance your Ana was living that. Ana doesn't work like, and you're okay. The ball just killed itself. That's crazy. Now this high ground, okay. Yeah, this one was better because there's a reason for you to be up here. It increases your survivability in some way. Okay. Okay, well, I just witnessed the Junkrat die. What? Why does that work? Okay, if their Ana knew how to land shots, you'd be dead. But apparently she doesn't. Going for the res. Okay, you do have Valkyrie. You kind of just neglected your Ana there. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you should have just went for the help on the Ana first. Bastion is sleeping, so yeah. I think because the Bastion's sleeping, you should be able to get this res off no problem, especially because you have Valk on top of it. But at this point, you just ditched your Ana completely. Now they're getting walked on by Sojrine. Imagine that Ana will not live there for very long. I stand corrected. She lives entirely. You're kidding. What is happening this game? I don't even know. All right. Watch what happened over here. Okay, so you get the res off. This is fine. It was just a fine res. I'm not gonna lie. That one, well, I still think it was a very risky choice. It wasn't that bad because there were other factors helping you there, and that's a situation where you should not pull out the gun. You're not really providing too much value doing just the tiny bit of damage when they have a tree up. Like, you're kind of just going through the little overhealth, and that's... I mean, you didn't even break through the overhealth, really. So in that place, I would just heal your ball. And in proxy, anyone else is just on point. Because now you're just healing your Genji. Your ball has been critical this entire time. I think you heal the ball. Not using beat. You want to be very, very careful. Alright, we don't need to duel the Lucio. Lucio wins that 1v1. Be very careful. You need to, like, chill out a little bit. You're, like, trying too hard to move around when you don't need to. Like, in this situation here, you're Guardian Angeling for no reason. I'm just gonna be honest, there's no one looking at you. No one cares. You do not need to have that much movement because they are not doing anything. Until you start actually getting shot at, there's not really a reason for you to use Guardian Angel this much. Because now you're stuck here, 0 Guardian Angel when you could use it. And then you're forced to, like, walk away. Ah, you neglected your Ana. You gotta stop neglecting your Ana. Oh my. Your Ana's dying too much. It is her bad positioning, I'm gonna be honest. It is mostly on her, but you can't neglect her either. That's just a good round. Oh wait, never mind. We get the contest off. Apologies. Touches, keep the Genji up. Nice. Chunk lives. This is a super safe position. Yes, the way that you flew into there, it's kind of something I kind of talked about, saying flying to safe position, but you can't help your team. So in that situation, it is kind of better to stay out in the slightly riskier positions just so you can help your team. You want to be in the safest possible position where you can still help your team. That's like the best way to think about it. The safest possible position where you can help your team. Honestly, I would not have minded that res there. I know I've been talking about constantly taking like no risky reses, but I would have just sent that one. Really. Yeah, we did get it off. That is incredible that your team won that fight. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, now we're sitting on point. Your team needs to push out. Yeah, right now I'll just sit with your junk. It's a similar situation. You're Guardian Angeling for kind of no reason. You don't need to fly. You putting yourself in that area. I would literally just sit in this wall right here. If you start taking damage from, like, I don't know, the Bastion shooting the floor with his I think he grabbed the, like, explosion version of his turret, then yeah, you can move. But literally just because it's not really a reason to be flying back here, because now the enemies can see you for pretty much no reason. So I get that you're trying to, like, create distance from them, but you don't need the distance. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I just keep sitting with the Junkrat. You're not really doing much at the moment. You could just damage boost the Junkrat instead, or the Ana even. You're neglecting your Ana again. you gotta help your Ana. Okay. Your Junk gets pinned off the map. Don't neglect your Ana. Nice. Yeah. It's kind of scarier right there because your ball is on point alone, but try to never neglect your Ana. Ooh, that res is quite risky, but I don't mind it in that scenario. It's overtime. Sometimes you just gotta go for a play like that. Help your Genji here, I think, as much as you can. Ah, heal your Genji! Heal the Genji! Oh, okay. Let me try to think. Okay, so right here, you're so worried about your own survival that it's, like, almost to a fault. You took no damage. I don't really... Okay, this has just been happening the entire match. They haven't looked at you a single time. Yet you're kind of flying around like they're staring at you like you're the focus, but you haven't been the focus. You don't need to do all this, like, crazy flying around stuff and running away from your own team, because you're carrying your team less. When you're doing that, you're running away from your own teammates. You're going too far away to use your heal beam or your damage boost beam. So you gotta you gotta think about where you are in relation to your team on top of everything that you're already doing. You're flying around like they can see you at all times, and they're constantly focusing you, but they're kind of not. So you don't need to play that crazy, if that makes any sense. You could just chill out a little bit, sit in safer positions, and you don't really need to fly around that much. Did they? I don't know who got pulled. Anyways. Okay, we want the res here. I like this res. It's in a safer spot. Their Rhine is just in there for some reason. I'm surprised your team doesn't punish it. Your Rhine just goes in. Yeah, okay, this enemy team just doesn't care about you. Like, you can just do whatever you want, honestly. Never mind, go for literally any risky res. Okay, don't go for that risky res. I was about to say go for any risky res, but I don't know about that risky. You gotta think about risk reward. The risk of how much are you gonna die in comparison to the reward. What are the chances of you dying anytime you go for a res? That's a big one. Oh, that Ren is behind. That would be a fine res if you had it, just because your team owns the space. In fact, I would have stick around and wait for that res, because I think you had a chance to. A5 for... Oh, no, you didn't. Okay, no mind. Ana, help. Your Genji's just in there for literally no reason. Your Junkrat is also in there for no reason. Ah, these genius TPS. Okay, this is another high ground. What are you gaining by being on that high ground? You know, you got to think about it that way. You don't do very much damage. You're not applying much pressure. They're not going to be scared of you sitting on high ground. You're not, like, say if a Sojourn slid up here, that's a little more scary for them, because now, oh wait, I don't want to pick the Sojourn, I might die to them. But if a Mercy's on the high ground, they're actually wanting to go to you because they want to kill you. They want to take the 1v1. So be careful when just letting the enemies know that you're sitting by yourself going for a position like that. Yeah, help your Rhine here maybe. I'm not sure. Your DPS just staggered horribly. It's just unlucky. Your team keeps staggering. You can possibly, yeah, just pop Valk, try to help your Genji here. Nice. Let him go for the hero play. Your Genji has been doing a lot of these good hero plays, so sometimes just going with your Genji, helping him out. I know at the first I already said, like, don't really want to chase around your Genji too much, but in some situations when your Genji's kind of the only one doing anything on your team, it might be worth it just to help out the one person doing something. Kind of doing the thing again. You're kind of just pressing Guardian Angel because you have it, not for any reason. I know I said jumping with the purpose now. Now I want you to do Guardian Angel with the purpose. Because you're just pressing it and putting it off cooldown every single time you do. And it's not a long cooldown, so it's not usually a bad thing. It'll be fine most of the time. But it's that one scenario that where you just fly when you don't need to and then immediately need fly. Like this fight here alone, it's fine. You're doing a good job. You're running around, you're staying alive, and you're using Guardian Angel, as you probably should. Keeping up, helping out your team, and being in a good position to help out your team in any way, at any time. That's fine. But that one, that's a good jump. You go to high ground. But at the same time, is if you get dove, like any of that time, if they looked at you any of those times, you're just gonna not have Guardian Angel at all. But like this is the time. You don't need to fly. You don't need to take high ground. You're not doing much. You're not threatening. You're just kind of doing it for like 1% ult charge, which isn't really worth it a lot of the time. Risking your life for 1%. When a Sojourn can just headshot you. Unlucky Rhine death immediately. Up your Genji. Your Genji loves to flank. We do have Valk again. You're helping your Ana, okay. You're popping tree. I don't think we needed Valk there immediately. It's like you're using it to contest the point, but like it's not really your job to contest point. Why are we meleeing tree? Why? Why? I mean, it's not a horrible Valk. You still kept your team up and you kept contesting point, but like you didn't really need to. Like if you could have done pretty much anything you wanted to there without Valk. I don't know, I'm paying way too much attention to you just flying around now. And it's like when you do that, it almost looks like you're a crackhead with the amount of times you move around. I don't really know how to explain it. I think you want to think about being more efficient with your Guardian Angels. Try to make it the best possible usage of the Guardian Angel rather than just using it off cooldown. Think about why you want to use it every time you want to use it. Yeah. Right. I think getting close to it. I'm actually surprised they had cap that whole time. I'm not gonna lie. Where did I see? I felt like I saw something there, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Okay. Yeah, we're just keeping our Rhino. This is a time you don't really need to pull out the gun. If there's... You can do it if when you shoot them, it increases the amount of time to kill, but it doesn't when you're this far away. My recommendation, I think I mentioned you should do it maybe a couple more times. Mostly do it if you're trying to help out a person... Like, say, someone's diving your Ana, and you and your Ana need to kill them together, then you can pull out the gun. But in this situation, your Rhine still needs a bit of healing, your Junkrat still needs a bit of healing. It's better just to heal them there, rather than add, like, one singular bullet at that distance. If it's too far away, you shouldn't really use the gun. It's just too far away, it's not consistent enough to shoot them. Another thing is you want to be careful of the Bastion. Yeah, it's another thing, you kind of didn't really need to fly in there. You could have just sat on high ground at that moment. Like, right here. Go down to your Ana, and you just sit up there. If their Bastion starts shooting you, then you can go for it. But you kind of just flew in for no reason. You didn't need to fly in. You could have just either... And if you did, you should have went for over here in this situation rather than just, like, into the middle point. Because now, immediately, if we look from their POV, like, you're just sitting in the middle. No Guardian Angel. This is a very, very risky position for you to be in. So we should be good though, because you get teammate ults. Yeah. Okay. What am I? Okay, I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna go into a practice range to kind of show off what I was talking about. So before, I was mostly talking about jumping with purpose, you know, your vertical jumps. But now, I want to think more about your horizontal jumps. So you started doing it more, you know, you jumped up to this high ground, and then in that case, you can up out in this high ground in any way, and maybe switch to your other high ground, you know, stuff like that. You know, like I'm thinking you're understanding from what I watched, you kind of understood that concept a little more. But what you want to think about more is the horizontal jumps, the ones where you're jumping and then just going into safety. You don't need to see the enemy to maintain like pretty much max value on Mercy. You don't need to watch them. You can damage boost, you can heal behind a wall, and in this situation, you're completely safe. Your teammates will be fine, and if they need to come back in behind the corner, then you're also there to help them. And if they die for any reason, and as you can see, if they die, then you can just res them from right behind the wall. You know, you get it. I don't play Mercy. Yeah, but so yeah. Another time is when you're pulling out the gun. If you're this far away, yes, I mean you do full damage, and in this case they're sitting very still. But like, if you're this far away, you have to like lead your shots a ton to make them land. So it just makes your gun not super consistent. So pretty much you're only wanting to pull out the gun if they're like right here in front of you, or they're just already so low that you only need to land like one bullet to kill them, and your team just can't do that. So yes, like you do full damage, but the bullet travel is so long, it's just not very consistent when taking, like pulling out your gun at that distance. But yeah. So yeah, either way, instead of going for vertical jumps and thinking about it in that way, instead think about, my goodness, my brain is losing its train of thought. Think about why you're using Guardian Angel. So go right to the very, very beginning. And what reason are you using Guardian Angel? Are you using it to get high ground? Are you using it to go to safety? And don't neglect your Ana so much. That was another one I've kind of mentioned a couple times. You're a lot of time not worried about your other support for no reason. They need help too. Especially a character like Ana. Ana needs a lot of help to maintain her high level of impact, and when she does, if Ana gets help, she's arguably one of the best supports in the entire game. So she just needs a bit of help. So either way, think about horizontal jumping a little more, think about hiding behind walls a little more, and you don't need to go to high ground every time in the fight just because it's good to do so every once in a while. So yeah, and then also a big one, thinking about the positions the enemy owns, you know, like when I flew up above and tried to show off like the walls, and putting in this context, like this wall right here, pretty much their enemy team owns, because like based on like friendly bots or whatever and what they have, because they have all of this downward area and they're the ones actually shooting into it, because they're shooting down this choke. You want to be very careful walking down this choke. This situation, these two bots would be in kind of a bad spot. Either way, so you know, just like try to think about it in like in that way. What team, what position does the enemy hold? What team does your what team? Oh my god, what position does the enemy hold? What position does your team hold? And in that way you can like choose going for this res or not. Especially if you can sit behind a wall and do a res, always do that. It's pretty much always worth it. Res is such an amazing ability. Okay. I feel like I did a really poor job there at the end trying to explaining the thoughts, but I guess yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to just message me. Other than that, have fun. Yeah, I did see improvement between the first time to the second time, so yeah. Cool.